Guys, Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends, a quick news video for you guys, and I wanted to talk about the new champion. I don't want to call it a problem, I want to call it a dilemma, and I really want to get your thoughts on this one as well. We also have all the new update information that I'm going to share with you guys, as well as 4 pretty substantial buffs to old legendary champions that I am absolutely thrilled about. I think they're all, like I said, substantial, better than substantial, like really, really solid buffs that will take crappy legendaries, arguably, and make them actually good, which is why, you know, you never, I mean, this is obvious news, but you never get rid of a legendary. No matter how tempted you are, you never, ever, ever use one for food, because think about Dracomorph, think about Mashals, right? Think about some of these really, Canderfon, some of these really crappy legendaries, some of the worst in the game are now some of the best in the game after their buffs. Anyway, guys, let's get to the stuff here. First of all, how was your New Year's, guys? I actually traveled to Seattle, celebrated there. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. You know, hopefully you guys have a happy, a healthy, a really positive 2023. Let's hope we all do. Let's hope we all do here. But yeah, let me know how it was, guys. I also, one last quick thing, guys. I started a new book. I'm a big fan of Ken Follett, The Man from St. Petersburg by Ken Follett. Highly recommended so far. I'm halfway through. Really big fan. All right, update 6.4 highlights. Greetings from Plarium. Update is on the way. We got a 4th anniversary Titan event. Merely an appetizer for Raid's 4th anniversary, but it will be huge in its own right. And try the brand new Plarium Points program with its rewards and benefits. Furthermore, we'll introduce a new type of reward chest, a couple of quality life adjustments, a cohort of new champions. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, guys. And some balance changes to the old ones. All in all, there's no lack of things to enjoy this January. All right, 4th anniversary Titan event. I'll, by the way, link this for you guys to go ahead and read or read along if you want to in the description of this video. This time we'll do anything in our power to celebrate Raid anniversary on time, and we're even prepared a vast 4th anniversary Titan event to give you a taste of what's to come. It will encompass several elements: Heroes Path events, meh, tournaments, meh, and a few of your garden variety events to boot. Participating in these activities will earn you anniversary points, though their overall number is limited, and you'll need to keep an eye out for exactly and how you can increase your score. In turn, those points will let you claim rewards in the Titan event interface, thus giving you more shiny stuff than doing on the same amount of heroic legwork in Raid. So, okay, so you get free stuff for doing what you're normally probably doing in the game anyway. The glass half full is awesome. I love free rewards. I'm not going to complain about it. Glass half empty is, I was hoping this Titan event would be something that was an actual event, meaning that there was content, you know, not just a path. I don't know, maybe I'm being greedy here, but that's kind of what I was hoping for. Those rewards include various resources, random chests we'll discuss in a separate discussion, subsection, excuse me, below. New and unique player avatars, even resources you'll need for Champion Awakening. It should be a fairly straightforward experience, and we'll add a dedicated Titan event tab. So kind of like the Snow tab and all the other stuff, kind of, right? Random chest. This new type of reward will be featured in the 4th anniversary Titan event and elsewhere, some existing events and tournaments. For example, the chest itself will contain an item or resource randomly chosen from the predetermined reward pool. Talk to me about sacred shards. Bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond. Cool. Naturally, random chests of higher tiers will provide greater rewards. Well, is this a way to give us some legendary skill tomes? Finally, Plarium, please? Or some shards, you know? I don't know. TBD, remains to be seen, you know? Plarium Points program. So Plarium Points, the fact that it's called Plarium Points, I imagine we could use these in Mech Arena and whatever as well. I actually started a Mech Arena channel. It's Ash Mech Arena. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue doing it, but since I'm playing the game, I figure I'd throw some videos up there. But if you want to check that out, feel free. I have like 200 subscribers, so no big deal. By the way, thank you so much for 150K, guys. Really freaking cool. Appreciate you guys. Okay, back to the program, the Plarium Points program. By earning a new type of resource called Plarium Points in various game activities, Heroes Path events, Deck of Fate events, tournaments, and more besides, claiming them from playtime rewards and advanced quests, or getting them from in-game purchases, okay, you'll get additional rewards. So yeah, okay, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing, Plarium. To access the Plarium Points program tab, you'll have to open up the menu on your left-hand side of your Bastion screen and tap the icon. That will lead you to a new tab where blah, 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 blah. These include powerful champions, artifacts and accessories more suitable for them, and resources to awaken the champion. On top of that, you can get a unique avatar, legendary champion fragments, split souls, and extra artifacts or accessories. Legendary champion fragments sounds pretty cool. especially if it gives us access to old legendary fragments, right? I mean, that's the big thing, is allow players. I can't be the only one who's got like 90 fragments of a couple champions. Even if you were lucky enough to pull that champion later on, you could still get that champion and empower them, so give me access to old fragments. That should be a regular thing, in my opinion. Okay, furthermore, a progress bar with multiple reward slots will be active, yada, yada, yada. You guys can read if you want to. Quality of life adjustments. There are 2 minor but convenient quality of life adjustments to look forward to as well. First, you'll be able to shuffle your team directly on the Tag Team Arena selection screen. Needless to say, this will be a lot faster than having to manually swap each champion out. Thank God, man. This really annoyed the hell out of me, is the tag team battle section screen. And also, you know what really annoys me, guys? Is the tag team defense. Like, you can't get in there and select pre-set teams. You have to go ahead, and if you're anything like me, you're taking your defense out and in, depending on clan versus clan and whatever, if you want to go higher or lower in the trophies. Secondarily, you will go end ongoing multi-battles right in the middle of it. There'll be 2 options to do so. End current battle, which just stops the battle immediately, or stop multi-battle, which will let your champions finish the battle but stop the current multi-battle sequence after that. I'm a big fan of that. All right, before we get into the new champion dilemma, real quickly here. Killian the Lucky, dude, they're giving him a massive buff. I'm so happy about it. There's 2 types of people out there in the world, raid players at least. People who love Killian already and think he's a cool, underrated champion. People who don't think he's that good. Think a little underwhelming. I'm in the latter camp. I didn't think he was that good. I think he was a little underwhelming. So now if you're one of those people who actually did think he was good, you must be super excited about this buff. So his A2 ability, Inflict Misfortune. They're changing this to an AoE attack. 100% chance of placing block active skills for 2 turns. Damage multiplier decreased, obviously, because it's an AoE attack. Really cool buff there. Block active skills, really cool to have on an AoE, no doubt. On Headringer, his A3 ability, it still attacks 1 enemy, but now it's just a straight up stun for 2 turns and stealing 50% of the target's turn meter. Resets the cooldown of the skill. The target is killed. Really strong. And now on his passive, Charmed Life places 2 of the following buffs on this champion at each turn. We get a increase. Well, they added a bunch of different buffs there. Block damage, increase accuracy added as well. Strengthen. Very, very cool there. Killian, really big buff. Tila Gormain, on her Pyre Strike ability, it's no longer attacking 1 enemy with an HP burn. We're now attacking all enemies. They're trying to give Tila some love, and I think she's finally got it here, guys. Ascended attacks all enemies, 100% chance of placing HP burn for 2 turns. Also, continuous heal on all allies for 2 turns. Damage multiplier decreased. Still a 3-turn cooldown. On Lifeworm, that's the A3 ability. Attacks all enemies. It still attacks all enemies. Now it's a 100% chance of placing or increasing the duration of HP burn debuffs on all enemies by 1 turn. That's new. Also, we're placing a Hex along with the Leech on this ability. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. Again, a really significant buff to Tila Gormain. And last but not least, guys, Vergamkar. Now listen, Vergamkar, he was not good. Now he's going to be good, because now they added decreased defense to his A3 ability on a 3-turn cooldown, and that's not going to be predicated on removing a certain number of buffs and anything like that, right? It's unqualified now. It's just straight up decreased defense on a 3-turn cooldown with the heal reduction and the AoE attack. And then on his A2 ability on our Ancient, we're going to get that increased defense no matter what. So he's bringing decreased defense and increased defense. Really, really cool, man. Now he's like a really solid champion. He can be a debuffer. He can be a buff stripper. He can be a increased defense champion. He's got a shield in his kit. I mean, Vergamkar, I'm really excited. I can actually put some gear on this dude now. I'm really excited about this buff on Vergamkar. What about you guys? I mean, this guy's kind of a cool looking champion. He's like this big beast of a blob, of a dog, of a whatever the heck he is, a slug, a lizard. I don't know. I like him, though. I love him now. I mean, that's really, really cool. All 3 of those champions, I think those buffs are definitely significant. All right, I want to talk to you guys really quickly before I let you go, and you can read some of the community feedback here. Stop multi-battles. It's actually a really nice update. Hey, speaking of one thing, Plarium, if you're watching right now, I like the update. I like it, right? But I do want to say one thing. If you could really do this, and it doesn't apply just to endgame players, the token trader. Can we add a refresh button there? Can we add a refresh? Because I don't want to take away these champions from people who have already, tried to go after them. They're trying to save up or whatever. But I think that even for new players to have access to some really powerful champions, with champions they just don't like or anything like that. Although I will kind of bring it back to where this video started in saying that if you're unbinding any champions, right, be careful, because you could be unbinding a Vergamkar who ends up getting a buff. You could be unbinding a Mashal who ends up being a beast, right? So I would only unbind maybe average to bad champions that you already have or can't use or whatever. But anyway, it'd be cool to see a refresh on the token trainer. Am I alone there? Do any of you guys care about that at all, or am I just speaking, for myself? If so, I retract my statement, because I don't want to be too one-dimensional here. It's too selfish, I should say. Anyway, listen, guys. I want to. Okay, well, you know what? This is it. This is exactly the point that I wanted to make here. No, it's not. The next one is. Would be nice if you could buff more junk legendaries. There's too many that have no place in the current game. But that being said, a couple of the champions who need a buff are completely passed over. Razin needs a buff on his speed. I agree. Lowering the cooldown of his A3. Yaga the Insatiable. Complete rework. You know what? Another champion that could use a buff too, guys, while we're talking about it randomly, is Hakorn Smashlord, dude. Like, he can have this this A2 ability. It should be on a 3-turn cooldown, man. It should be on a 3-turn cooldown. There's epics who really, like Mausoleum Mage, who actually bring more to the table than Hakorn Smashlord. He should really get this reduced. Anyway, guys, I wanted a few people mentioned here, and I'm sure you guys will find it. And I have my cat. I usually take her out of the room. Say hi to Fern. She's growing up, guys. I asked you like 2 years ago, should I get a cat for my son? The majority of you guys were like, yeah, do it, do it. I got it. We're getting along. I wouldn't say I'm a cat guy, but we love each other. All right. Usually I kick her out of the office, though, when I record. Anyway, guys, the new champion thing, right? Because I see you guys leave this comment all the time in my videos, and that is, do we need so many new champions? Of course, the answer is no. I already know the answer to the question before I ask it, right? Do we need so many new champions in the game? Let me make myself a little bit bigger while I talk to you guys one-on-one here. Do we need so many new champions added to the game right now, especially when there's like hundreds and hundreds? I was just going to sit down and record a going over every legendary here in 2023 video, and it's just like, dude, I need 2.5 hours to do this video, man. And I don't know, God knows how many of you weirdos are actually going to want to watch me for 2 hours. But no, jokes aside, guys, it's weird, man. It's like, it's cool to get new champions, right? It is fun to get a new fragment summon or a really awesome fusion like Nishak or whatever. That's fun to me, right? Or special, obviously, Ronda, like free champions, Ultimate Death Knight. I'm not going to complain at all about that. But just adding, 15 new amazing legend. They don't add any good rares anymore. They don't. There's been no good rares for years. Frozen Banshee was like arguably the last one. There's some decent, like halfway decent ones like Abyssal and stuff like that, but like really nothing to write home about. Certainly nobody like Apothecary or Cold Heart or any of the OG good rares, Bellower, etc. So they moved around, forget uncommons, I mean, gosh. But they moved on from rares. And then even epics, there's been a few good ones, Godseeker and Nitter we talked about, Geomancer, Volgoth, Ugo. That was like a year ago. In the subsequent year or so, there's been a couple decent epic champions, but that's about it. It's been the majority legendary, which costs so much more to upgrade. So the problem is let's continue to buff, right? I should say, because they've been doing a good job on buffing. I'm not trying to just crap on them when they're actually buffing a bunch of these crappy champions. But let's continue to buff every time we bring new champions in, right? That way, you don't feel, because people shouldn't feel compelled like they need these champions, and the thing is like, if they're going to add a champion, hopefully they're bringing something a little bit unique to the table, right? Not just the redundant, hey, cool, I pulled a new legendary, but I already have 3 legendaries who basically do the same thing, so a little bit more variety, and maybe that necessitates new content in the game, other than just like, Sand Devils is cool and stuff, Iron Twins is fine and all that, but like, to me, bring a little bit more depth to the new content, like Doom Tower. I mean, Doom Tower, to me, looking back now, hindsight being 2020, that is the quintessential raid update. That was my personal favorite, because you're getting so many new bosses. You're getting 8 new bosses to which you need different champions. You're getting secret rooms. I mean, I think that is really, really superb content. I would like the rewards to be a little bit more enticing. Again, a way to get books, maybe, if you're going to be adding all these legendary champions, maybe. I mean, on my free-to-play account, guys, I have like 5 legendaries. Good for me, but I can't use half of them because I can't book them because there's no way to get them. Anyway, sorry for ranting, guys, because I do think this is a cool little quality of life update. I can't wait to see the new champions, but at the same time, it's just like I'm starting to get a little bit burnt out on new champions, to be real with you guys, because The last batch or the one before that, it's just like I didn't even I forgot to even look at them. And I'm a freaking content creator, so I can only imagine how you guys are. It gets to be a little bit daunting. Like, oh, now there's 20 new meta champions. Yeah, you know, like to me, maybe we slow it down a little bit with the new champions, right? And they continue to buff the old champions. And then again, we'll see what they add in the next big update, the year of PvP. I made a whole video about that a few days ago. What's coming in Raid? Is this a make or break update? Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, that's not this update. This update looks to be coming like now. But, you know, what do you guys think? I've been talking way too long here. I wanted this to be like a 5-minute video, and we're going on like 15, 20 minutes. Guys, I love you. Again, Happy New Year. Overall, excited about these buffs, to say the least. How do you guys feel about everything I talked about? Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.